Thanks for being here, man.
Thank you for having me.
You know, Daryl, it's been a while, and just so we get this out of the way here, because we talked a little bit about this on the morning show. We've had the honor of having you 3 or 4 times in the studios and before shows and all that. So over the years, I've gotten to know that, Daryl, you're a big Green Bay Packers fan.
I am.
And you see that I'm wearing my Mitchell Trubisky Bears jersey here. So I just figured it.
That's the first thing I saw.
Carol calls me the antagonist, so I don't know where she gets that from, but all I can say is it took 9 years for the Bears to be a favorite by the odds makers, and Sunday they're favorites. Doesn't mean they're going to win, but you never know.
It doesn't have anything to do with a broken collarbone, does it?
It could be. I think he broke like 13 bones. It's a real mess.
Pretty nasty.
It shows you how blessed the city of Green Bay has been to have all those great quarterbacks, with Brett Favre and then Aaron Rodgers.
What's that like?
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that maybe we'll get a taste of that. There are 32 NFL teams, and our receivers are ranked 34th.
Right?
We have really bad receivers. They're no good. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. Daryl, your career, doing this with the veterans tomorrow, I know it means a lot to you here to be in town and also do a show on Veterans Day for the veterans. It's got to be a big deal.
Yeah, and, a lot of times we'll do shows on that weekend or whatever, but not necessarily on the day. So it's going to be pretty special. I think... and it's not just me. I was telling these guys on the way over here, my whole camp, my whole crew, my band, everybody's connected in some way or another to the military. And for us to have these opportunities, it's just truly a blessing, man. We love to do what we can to give back. Obviously, we go anywhere in the world that we're asked to go to entertain our troops. But I think our veterans are a group of people who've been somewhat overlooked, and it does my heart good to have an opportunity to just do something special for them.
Well, I can tell you have a song that touched a friend of ours, Jonathan Jans. He's a Marine, and
cool.
he is also with Warrior Vodka. He was in Iraq. I told you a story a little bit off the air, but Jonathan was injured in Iraq. He suffers from PTSD, and he has linked up to start Warrior Vodka, and they sell this great vodka. In fact, Daryl was checking it out here. He said, "Hey, I'm all about the vodka." 80% of the money they raise through the vodka goes to our injured veterans. And Jonathan told me, when I told him that you were coming in the studio today, he said, I just came back from the war, man. That song really touches me.
Very cool.
That shows you, Daryl, that your music touches. I mean, here's a guy in Iraq, and he said, first thing he said, I just came back from the war.
Well, I'll tell you something special about that song. We were in the process of writing it, and I told my co-writer, I wrote it with Win Varble, same guy I wrote Have You Forgotten with. And I told him, I said, we might be teetering on the edge of some things, with these lyrics. And I said, I'd love to take it home and just run what we have by some family members, guys that have been out there in the fight and see what their response is. And, they smiled on some of it. Some of it they said, I don't know about that. So we made some... alterations in the song according to their, how it hit them. And at some point I played it for a couple of vets in the family that said, you got it right now. It'll nail everybody to the wall. So that is a song that we put a lot of time into, and never thought it would be on the radio. It was one of those songs that, the record label came back and said, this is what the radio people want. They want this song. And so we gave it to you, obviously, and the rest is history. So I thank all those guys out there that relate to it because it comes from a real place.
All right, let's go ahead and hear it. It is Darryl Worley in studios, and I just got back from a war here on your hometown country station, 98.3 WCCQ.